Okay. Today we're talking about what I'm reading. If you hear piano in the background, my kid's doing her piano practice for today. I thought this would be kind of a fun segment, I guess, to shoot, and probably about once a month I'll pop in and tell you what I'm currently reading. It gives me accountability because I know nobody wants to be hearing about the same book every single month, unless it happens to be this book. No? Okay. You don't want to hear me talk about the same book every single month, so I'm going to try my darndest to actually read the book that's on my nightstand and accomplish it, which really, like, for this one, I mean, what is even my excuse? What is even my excuse? The fact it was written in 1850, maybe? I don't know. So the language is a little, and it's translated from French. So maybe a little bit of grace. This is The Law by Frédéric Bastiat. Probably butchered his name. He's French. And this is kind of how I'm doing my TBR right now. I have one nonfiction book, which is what I'm reading this month. Clearly, I'm obviously very far. I'm very far through. And then next month, I will read fiction. So I'm going to switch between months each month. I'm going to try and read a book. I used to be an avid reader, like blazing through books. Like, when I say blazing through books, I mean I read the 5th Harry Potter book in like 5 hours. Like I burned it with my eyeballs. These days, it takes me months to read the world's tiniest book. So, I'm switching between nonfiction and fiction because I actually really enjoy reading nonfiction and I really enjoy reading fiction. And so let me just show you the lineup. I'll take you into the bedroom and I'll show you the lineup. Take you into the bedroom. Welcome to my bedroom. Okay, I won't be weird, I promise. I'll try and be less weird. So here's my shelf that has all of my to-read books on it. Now, I've already read this one, but I'm reading this one next. And so I like to, anytime I'm reading like a series, I want to revisit, if it's been a while, I want to revisit the first book. So the Aliquin, I think is how you say it, is next up. So this will be the one I'm talking about next month. This is by Mary Co. This is book 1 in the series. I just bought this one, so I'm really, really excited about it. I'll put it back in a minute. And then I'm reading. We're dreaming big here, okay? And then Lois Lowry, Lectures on Faith by Joseph Smith. So again, it's nonfiction, fiction, nonfiction, fiction, nonfiction, economics in one lesson. As you can see, I'm super fun at parties. Memory Made Real, Basic Economics, Botanist's Guide to Flowers and Fatality, The Anatomy of a Revolution. And this one is the complete collection of C.S. Lewis signature classics. I've already read several of them. I think the one I'm reading next it starts with an M. It's Miracles. It does start with an M. I was like, it does. But I'm kind of infamous for being like, I'm pretty sure the word I want starts with a K, and then it's like, oh, do you mean general? And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't start with a K. Anyway, okay, back to the studio. So the goal with this particular series is, number 1, keep me accountable and actually like make me read books. But number 2, to also give you guys kind of an idea of different things that I'm reading, and then also whether or not I'm actually liking what I'm reading. So this particular book actually ends right here. So like all of this is like excerpts from other books that he's written. So if you want to read The Broken Window or The Candlemaker's Petition, there's little excerpts from those that kind of get an idea. But this was first published as a pamphlet in June of 1850. He's French. And it kind of talks about like his views on how the economy is supposed to work, what the purpose of the law is, his views on socialism. I think it's really funny that we live in a world, and hopefully don't get canceled for this, but if I do, oh well. We live in a world that thinks that socialism is the answer, and that it's this new, like, we're in 2024, we're so super modern with our socialism, and here he is in 1850 being like, writing about things that are going on in our country right now, like 200 years ago. And being like, heads up, if this starts happening or this starts happening or this starts happening, you're going to make sure you want to stop that. And I'm like, oh, okay. But my understanding and knowledge of political science and politics, et cetera, has always been pretty limited just because I got my degree in English and I just like Shakespeare and unicorns more. And so one of the things I wanted to do is kind of expand my understanding. And so I looked up some sources of people that I trust and got like a list of books that I was like, I'm going to try and read these, which is why you notice a lot of my nonfiction books are about economics and about the law. So far, I will say it's a light read, but it's not a light read. Like, this is not something to try and read while the kids are playing, because the amount of times I've read some of these sentences, because I'm like, oh, well, the kids are just playing quietly. I'll just like sit in the corner and read my book. And I just read the same sentence over and over and over and over again because my eyes are glazing over because I'm so distracted by everything else that's happening. And I cannot... they're not heavy topics, but the language is such that you do need to focus. But so far, I am enjoying it. I am understanding what I'm reading when I read in the quiet. My biggest struggle right now with reading is that I have found in the past that I can write a lot or I can read a lot. But if I am in a writing sprint, so to speak, I am in a writing or in a reading slump. If I am in a writing slump where I'm not doing a whole lot of writing, I am reading a whole lot more. And so like I'm trying to find a little bit more balance there. So it's not so like, oh, well, I'm reading a whole, or I'm writing a whole lot. So I'm like not reading a lot versus like reading a whole lot and not writing a lot. I'm trying to find a little more balance of like trying to fold the two together, because I know in order to be a better writer, one of the things that you got to do is read a whole lot more. And part of that is reading in the genre that you write. But I think also part of it is reading stuff that you just enjoy reading, and reading things that you are just going to be good for your brain, you know. I'm very particular about the books I read. I do not just pick up any old book and read it. I am not afraid of a DNF. I will not finish a book. I actually started reading one. I was enjoying the story okay, but it got into some topics of things that wasn't inappropriate or anything like that. But it was just heavy for me personally. Because I have little kids and this was dealing with little kids, and I was like, nope, I can't do it. And so I just didn't finish the book. I did flip to the end to find out how the story ended, because I was like, I do want to know whether or not she makes it out of this, and she did. So yay me. But that is probably it for today. And hopefully by the next time, maybe I'll see about scheduling the next time I do one of these for after I've actually finished the book, and I can give you a full, like, this is what I read this month, as opposed to this is what I am currently reading. Or let me know, I don't know, let me know what you think. Like, would you rather have me give you my opinion halfway through the book, or do you want me to read the whole book and then tell you what I think about it? So, because this one, like I said, I still have I still have quite a bit, quite a bit of book, and it's not even that big. So I probably ought to get a move on that.